Hello everyone, welcome to Brainbox Notion. I'm Yusuf Musa Oba. So in today's video, I will show you how to use CostX to take off for drywall partitions, the ceiling, the stud, ground compound, the top plate, the bottom plate, the common stud, the jam stud, the secondary jam stud, the noggins, the insulation, and so on. Accurately and fast from a simple floor plan from DWG or PDF. So whether you are bidding for residential or commercial drywall jobs, you will learn step by step how professionals estimate with precision using CostX. So let's get started. So here we are in our CostX. Here we have our CMU wall takeoff, which is here. We are already done with the CMU wall. You can see. So our concentration is going to be the internal walls, which is the drywall, the ceiling, the plasterboard, the wall. We have load bearing and non-load bearing walls. Also treat that in CostX. So we have our dimension group already set up. So let's start our takeoff. But this dimension group has some sub items like a custom quantity that you get when you take off for one. You have other custom quantities to take off for. So let's look at the custom quantities. So when you go to the dimension group, you go to the custom quantities. You see that we have our top plate, we have our bottom plate, we have our common stud, we have our jam stud, we have our secondary jam stud, we have our noggin, we have our insulation. So these are the custom quantities you are going to have when you take off for a single wall. So let's go back and start our takeoff. So here we are going to start with the non-load bearing walls, which is wall type A for this. So what you do is just to click on the dimension group. This page is already scaled. So if you don't know how to scale a page using CostX, just go back to our introductory video on how to use CostX, the AI precision. We have the whole introductory part of CostX, how to use CostX, how to navigate, how to import drawings, how to export, how to do everything. We have all the complete introduction. So let's just dive in. So here, when you click this, so we'll start our takeoff. So I'm going back to this. So I'm going to use the point mode. I explained this in my introductory video, the difference between the line mode and the point mode. So if you don't know how to do that, you can still go back to the introductory video and watch the basics before moving to the advanced. So I'm going to use the point mode. So I'll click on the point mode and start my takeoff. So I'm starting with this wall up to this point. Here we have what we call properties. So and variables. So under these properties, dimension properties, you have variables that you need to add. So here is the start height and the end height of this wall. So the start height and the end height, we put it as 9.33. So I'm going to change it to 10. Also this 10. We have the stud spacing. This is the stud spacing per feet. I have 2 feet as the stud spacing. Then this is a secondary jam stud. So this secondary jam stud, we usually have it at the end where you have a junction or a corner of this wall. So here we are going to have one secondary jam stud here and another at the end there. So I'm going to put 2 secondary jam stud, the number, and then update. So you can see we have the wall. When I hover over it, you can see we have our custom quantities. We have our top plate, we have our bottom plate, we have our common stud, we have our secondary jam stud. So here you can see in our custom templates, we have insulation and so on. But here you can see that you don't have the insulation here because this is a non-load bearing wall. That's why. So when we get to the load bearing, you see our insulation there. So I'm going to take off for this also. In this point, this point. So here I've already set up what I need. So I'm going to change it to 0. I don't need this. And click this. So I'm going to turn off the add properties. turn this off. So now I can do my takeoff without making any changes. Up to this point, we are going to deduct the openings. Later, we have here, we have this point up to this point. Let me take it to the end, to this point. So let's just leave the non-load bearing walls like this. So you can do the rest on your own. So if you need the drawing, you can just email us in the link description. We have our email in the description. So just email us and I'm going to forward you the drawing for practice. And also if you need the dimension group, you can also chat us or check the link in the description below to get the dimension group. So I'm going to leave the non-load bearing wall like this. You do the rest on your own. So let's switch to the load bearing walls and see the difference. So here we have a load bearing wall because this is a garage. You can see this is a garage and this wall here is a load bearing wall. So we are going to switch to the load bearing wall. So when I click here, I'm also going to use the point mode for this. So when I click here, let's go to this, and then this. So let me do this again. Forgot to add the property. Let me delete it. So here is how you can delete a dimension group. Click, delete the dimension group, then go back. So let's do it again. So you can see here under this load bearing walls, you have more information. So we said the start and end height is 10. So here you see insulation. So do you have insulation here? You can say yes, it is true. We need insulation this. Then number of top plates. Here, since it is a load bearing wall, we have double top plate, which is 2. And then top spacing still remain the same. This here we also have noggins. You see, we also have noggin. The spacing for the noggins is 2.67. So you can leave it the way it is. Then the secondary jump start, it's going to be also 2, and then we click update. So you can see when I hover over this, you can see we have our top plate, bottom plate, common stud, secondary jump stud, the noggin, and the insulation. But under load bearing walls, we only have just few items. Just the top plate, the bottom plate, and the common stud and the secondary jump stud. So here, but if there are some situations whereby you see that it is not a load bearing wall, but it has insulation or maybe noggin. So in a case like that, you can also just, let's say, copy this and you just call it wall type C. Click OK. I'm going to delete the dimension group. I'm going to delete the dimension. So now we have wall type C. So in a situation whereby you need noggins and also you need insulation, but it is not a load bearing wall. So you can just use this wall type C and just take off for it. So here you can see if you don't want the insulation, you can turn it off. If you need it, you can leave it. So let's say for this wall, we don't need insulation, but all other items remain the same. This is 10. We don't have no secondary jump stud. The top plate is 1, and then update. So you can easily change it suits your needs so that you can have a very accurate estimate. So let's say this wall here, this is a toilet, and this wall we need insulation on this wall. So I will just click, and then insulation, I will say yes, I need insulation, everything remain the same. I need secondary jump stud. No, I don't need secondary jump stud. If you need, you can put the number and then click OK. You see here, I have my quantities with insulation. See here, I have my quantities with insulation, the noggins, the common stud, the bottom plate, and the top plate all treated there. So that is that for the framing. So let's move to the plasterboard. Let me show you how to do the plasterboard. So in this plasterboard, we have like an AI precision plasterboard takeoff. You can see here we have the plasterboard for ceiling and we have the plasterboard horizontal and vertical. So in this case, it helps you maximize uh, and reduce wastage of your plasterboard. So let me show you how it works. So it's either you decide to put it vertically or horizontally. And this plasterboard has its own feature that it will decide for you the best type of sheet to use. Here you can see we have 4 by 4, 8 by 4, we have 10 by 4, we have 12 by 4, we have 14 by 4, and also have 16 by 4. Then we have oversized. And we have painting also in square meter under the custom quantities that you are going to get. So how this works is when you place the plasterboard horizontally, it will decide which of the sheet is best to use, and then how many numbers, if you are to place it horizontally, which is the best sheet to use, and how many numbers do you need for that sheet. And also, if you place it vertically, how many numbers will you use for that sheet and which one, then you'll see that which placing is going to be more accurate and best for you. So this helps you maximize wastage. So let's see how it works. So let us go back. So let's first try this wall and then place it horizontal and vertical and see which way is the best way. So let's first try with the horizontal. So when I go to this, click, take it all up to this point, state. So you can see when I hover over it, it gives me the length, the width, and it shows me that this is an oversize. Let me show you another example. Let's use this. So you can see here, when I use this wall, it shows that the painting is 114.46 and the sheet to use is 14 by 4 and it is 2.33 numbers. We are going to need 14 by 4 sheet of we are going to need 14 by 4 sheet, 2.33 numbers. So let's do the same, but let's place it vertically. To this point. So let's see what we have here. You can see with this, it gives us like 3 options for us to use. We can either use 10 by 4, we can either use 12 by 4, or use 14 by 4. And all of them, we are going to consume 3 numbers, 3.07 numbers. So looking at this, you can see that it is best to use to place it vertical and then use the 14 by 4 sheet. So it is best to place it horizontal and use, when we place it horizontal, you can see we have 2.33 numbers, while when we place it vertical, we have three numbers. So you can see to reduce wastage, maybe we can use the extra almost one sheet to do maybe some other parts or some openings or some more kitchen areas with the remaining part. So you can see how this works. So it is best to use the horizontal. Place it horizontal. So you can see the template also decide, also reduce wastage for you and give you the type of sheet to use best for the type of wall you have. So that's that for that. Then for the ceiling, you have the ceiling, which is basics. You just take it, and it's also decide on the type of sheet to use and the number to use. So this will just take maybe a room, or this. Let's take this room. Click enter. And see here we have if we are to use 4 by 4, we are going to consume 4.9. But if we are to use 10 by 4, we are going to consume 3.9. But if we are to use 12 by 4, we are going to consume 3.29. But if we are to use 14 by 4, we are going to consume 2.82. But if we are to use 16 by 4, we are going to consume 2.47. And the painting is 157.9. So basically, you have a variety of options to choose from, either to go with this or this or that, depending on which one suits you best and which one you need. So, so depending on which one will be more cost effective and efficient for you and more available for you to use. So basically, that's how you take off for the plasterboard, deciding on whether to use it horizontal or vertical, and also how to take off for load bearing and non-load bearing walls. So that's that for today's video. In the next video, we're going to go deep on more of the advanced tools to use on this CostX Takeoff. So check the link in the description, get your dimension group and drawing, and also start your takeoff too. See you in the next video. Thank you.